thank you. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Trustee Cheney?
Here.
Mayor Newhart?
Here.
Trustee Calora?
Here.
Trustee McKnight?
Here.
Stephen Gaba?
Present.
And Trustee Foster is absent.
May I have a motion to accept the minutes of April 7th, 2025?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And a motion to accept the following reports: March 2025, the Clerk's Office, Justice Department, Planning Department, Building Department, and Department of Public Works, and February 2025, Department of Public Works report.
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And a motion for authorization to pay all approved and audited claims in the amount of $281,976.02.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Chief, do you have anything for us?
Just a couple of things. Did I discuss the records management system upgrade at any previous meetings?
I believe you did.
Yes.
Okay, good.
That, yeah, with, through the county.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. We participated in Career Day at the Warwick High School. Mayor, you remember being on the executive panel,
The
the executive order for the
Yes.
reform? And one of the things that they recommended was higher recruitment efforts. So this is one way that we're attempting to recruit local high school students to continue into the criminal justice field.
That's great.
So,
There is a criminal justice program, isn't there?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we work with them throughout the year, and then they allow us to use their classroom for the junior police academy.
That's great. Yeah.
So.
I mean, plus the academy, that's amazing, yeah.
Yeah, they just announced, I don't have the dates with me, I'll have that for the next meeting, but they just announced the 2 summer sessions.
Great.
So we'll be posting that on our social media. Little League Parade is this Saturday, so 10 o'clock?
Yes.
Yes. Step off at 10.
Okay, so, you know, we, at the town board meeting, we just kind of put an announcement out there to expect some detours and delays, but we'll have officers on hand to facilitate that. At the last board meeting, I introduced 7 new part-time police officers that recently graduated the different academies. And it also coincides with a change in our policy with the, where we don't allow officers to work in more than one agency. We are now allowing our officers to work with the Village of Greenwood Lake.
Okay.
So it's still within our borders. Greenwood Lake is an accredited agency, and we share the same third-party policy manual.
Okay.
So it's kind of, you know, pretty seamless.
Yeah.
So we introduced Officer Ava Smith. She graduated last fall from the Rockland Police Academy. She does work with the Village of Greenwood Lake. Officer Ryan Warden graduated the Ulster Police Academy last fall. He works with the Village of Greenwood Lake as well. Officer Michael Warden graduated the Ulster Police Academy last fall. If you happen to see the 2 of them out there, they are identical twins.
Okay.
So if you think we're messing with you,
Okay.
maybe to a degree we are.
Could you do me a favor, as, you know, with these new men and women, could you bring them here to introduce them to me?
Absolutely.
I would love that.
I'll do it personally.
okay.
I actually did foot patrol with Ava Smith the other day. We did some of the businesses on
Good.
Friday.
Oh, good.
So, yeah, I'll bring them here.
Thank you.
Officer Justin Raybridge, he works with the Village of Greenwood Lake. Officer Sean Mallon, he just graduated from the Orange County Police Academy. He also did part of his training with the Rockland Police Academy. Officer Alexander Rykowski, he just graduated from the Orange County Police Academy. He also was the recipient of the Defensive Tactics Award. And Officer Sean Walter graduated from the Orange County Police Academy. He was the class president. He also received awards in Excellence in Emergency Medical Care, the Drill Instructors Award, the Overall Achievement Award, the Chief and Detective James T. Geary Father and Son Memorial Award for Academic Achievement, And that also came along with a $500 grant that he will donate in his name to something in law enforcement.
That's wonderful. Wow.
Lastly, we just purchased several devices called Guardian language translators.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I've heard of that.
So this is a way, it's a big step for us in improving our communications and bridging language barriers in the community. The devices were co-founded by City of Middletown police officers Jonathan Reyes and Hensley Carabello. When connected to Wi-Fi, which we're hoping to connect to the Wi-Fi in the police cars now, they will translate 144 different languages.
Wow.
Offline, they'll translate 16. They left us a demo. A couple days after we had the demo, one of our officers effected a traffic stop in the village with a Venezuelan family from Queens, and we were able to get them a ride back because they weren't able to drive the car due to the violations that were discovered with their license and with the vehicle, and it put them at ease completely when we were able to talk with them.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So,
What a great tool.
it is.
Yeah, we
And
have
It's about that big.
Uh-huh.
I'll drop by one day and show it.
I'd love to see it, yeah.
But it translates almost immediately. It's got AI technology. We have one that'll be in every post, one in dispatch, one with our detectives, and then we put one in town hall as well.
Great.
So I can show you the information. I would recommend, even considering one for here.
Okay.
It's very simple. It's 2 buttons. One button you press, you speak in English, and you select the language. It will translate immediately. Then you hold the second button when the other party speaks with you, and it'll translate back to English immediately.
It's
That-
amazing.
It's amazing.
So,
That's fantastic.
That Venezuelan family ended up coming back to our station 2 different times to try to get their car back, and the conversations went with ease.
That's great.
And it
Yeah.
actually works better than the Google Translator.
Okay, very good.
So,
Yeah, I mean, we have so many visitors from around the world that come to the Hudson Valley these days.
what's good is like, say for example, Spanish, it goes into 11 different dialects just for Spanish.
Oh, that's great.
So we were able to, like I said, once we determined they were from Venezuela,
Mhm.
it just made it so much easier.
Yeah.
And it put them at ease.
That's
which
good.
is equally as important.
Very important, yeah. Thank you, John. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
You don't have to hang out. You can
Okay, no questions for
go,
me?
unless the board has questions.
Okay.
Okay.
See you Saturday morning.
Okay.
Thank
I'll
you.
see
Thank
sooner.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
You too.
Okay. And announcements, Mr. McKnight.
Let me find where it is.
There it is.
Oh, I thought there was a whole paragraph. I saw
No,
what
no.
that was.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, you can just do that.
Okay, so the Village of Warwick celebrates Arbor Day 2025 on Friday, April 25th, 2025 at 9 a.m. at Stanley Deming Park.
And I'll elaborate that it's a celebration with, that we share with the Warwick Valley Gardeners and Park Avenue School. It's the 3rd grade, all the 3rd grades. And we plant a tree. The public is invited. It's truly a fun event. Poems, songs, the whole thing. And this is our 41st
First.
year as a tree city, so it's something to celebrate. So. And discussion. Wickham Works, Stanley Deming Park proposed mural design. We had talked about it somewhat earlier on, but now it's coming to fruition. And so if you remember, Tom, you had mentioned that maybe there are other places in the park that could be used as a platform for murals. And they took that to heart, and they, searched around the park, and they found actually a perfect place. It's on the bathroom building, and facing the street are these 2 framed empty framed pieces of, that are large, that would be perfect for a mural. And so that's where this is proposed. So I think it's facing the street, so everyone will see it as they drive by.
I went by there, those panels do look like they're just begging for art.
Begging for art, yes. And then, on
So I
top,
really, I do appreciate that, we can still keep the art at
Yeah.
the handball court.
yeah.
Even though it's getting a little bit weathered after 5 years,
Yeah.
I recognize that.
A lot of people take pictures there, though, they
Yeah.
love that
Yeah.
postcard. So, but also the thought is that there is a frieze of empty spaces around the entire building that would be perfect as well. So it'd be quite decorated, but quite beautiful, So did everybody look at the design? Is it-
Yeah, they look great.
I think they look great, yeah. And her work looks amazing, so to see just the level of artistry that she has, I think it would be quite beautiful.
Yeah, not much of a discussion from my
No?
perspective.
Any discussion? No? Okay, so it's a go. Next.
Yeah, I just want to say, I think it's great that Wicked Work really spearheads this and brings such high quality to the work that they install in the village.
Well, and also to mention that the Artist in Residence program, this pilot program has begun, and Nicole Hickman is setting up shop in Stanley Deming Park
Yes.
along the stream. And so, Mary, do you know a bit about what she's doing? Can you describe it?
Yes, off the top of my head. She does a series of artwork that is divine feminine sculptures. So it'll be coming from the big willow stump, the shape of a woman, and there will be strawberries coming out of her hair, and the strawberries are meant to feed the community. And it's won't be permanent. It'll just be up for a few weeks, but everyone will be welcome to visit her and eat her strawberries.
But I think there's an educational
There
component.
is. She's
Yeah.
doing a lot of work with community members and children and planting and different aspects of it. But the kickoff to that will be Saturday at Tree Cycle.
Yeah. So, definitely worth a visit. And Tree Cycle's happening as well as our Little League Parade and as well as Project Clean Sweep. So it's
Yeah.
going to be an incredibly busy.
It's a big
And
Saturday.
the Daisy Scouts are selling Girl Scout cookies on Railroad Creek.
Oh, that's
Oh,
correct.
good,
Yes.
'cause
Okay.
you'll need
So
a snack during such
So
a
can we
busy
stop?
day.
Fortunately, no. Fortunately, the parade's going to be by before they start selling cookies. I think there's like 10:45 is when they were planning on starting.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
It's-
I know it would have increased sales significantly.
It would have
Yeah,
been
right.
amazing. But there'll probably be a pretty good crowd still there, so we'll see. Public comments on agenda items. So,
Nope,
nope.
sounds all good to me.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Do you guys usually not have anyone at these meetings?
It
This is the
depends.
first time I've been the only one.
Yeah, it depends if
It's a
there's.
little weird. I don't. Yeah.
it
Just come blend in.
If
but-
there's a hot topic, yes. If there isn't, not so many people. But we are online, so a lot of people like that they
Gotcha.
can make a sandwich, have
Right.
popcorn. So we'll move on to motions and Trustee Cheney.
Yes, I'm going to withdraw motion number 1 regarding refuse bids award. We'll deal with that in a subsequent meeting when we get additional information. Motion 2, motion to hire Matthew Highland to the position of seasonal Department of Public Works laborer at 40 hours per week for 16 weeks with a start date of May 19th, 2025, as per the recommendation of DPW Supervisor Michael Moser. Salary will be based on the FY 24-25 and 25-26 budget.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion to approve payment number 6 in the amount of $44,777.67 to TAM Enterprises, Inc. for the Well 3 Treatment Plant Project, as per the recommendation of Pitangaro and Dosh Consulting Engineers PC. Funds are appropriated in budget code F.8330.2350.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
And trustee Foster's not here tonight, and so we're gonna split these guys up. She
Yeah.
has a lot of motion,
I
so
can start them.
you want to start? Okay.
Motion to re-levy on the Village of Warwick 2025-2026 tax bills, unpaid water and sewer fees, and alarm fines to properties listed on the attached document, including errors and omissions, RPTL 520 prorated taxes as per the village assessor, with a total re-levy amount of $1,442.83.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve the 2025 Village of Warwick Summer Concert Series schedule per the attached calendar provided by the Village of Warwick Summer Concert Coordinators.
Second.
I just want to mention that I think they did a great job, out of the starting gate. I think that it's a pretty diverse concert series, so I think that's really, and plus using different spaces, I think that will be,
Yeah, I'm
will be
looking
really
forward
good.
to it. It'll be great.
So, we have a second. All in favor?
Aye. Motion to hire Gianna Marin to the position of Village of Warwick office intern at 32.5 hours per week for approximately 13 weeks, with a start date of May 20th, 2025. The rate of pay to be in accordance with the fiscal year 2024-25 and fiscal year 25-26 budget.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution to establish Safe Streets for All project. Whereas the Village Board of the Village of Warwick has undertaken to establish a Safe Streets for All project, and whereas the estimated cost of the said project is $507,709, and whereas the Village Board of the Warwick proposes to fund the said project with $101,541.60 from General Fund, $406,167.40 from a federal grant, and in-kind services. Now therefore it is hereby resolved as follows. 1, that the Village Board approves the Safe Streets for All projects and the aforesaid expenditure of funds from the said sources for its establishment. And 2, that the village mayor is authorized to sign all documents necessary to carry of the terms hereof.
Okay.
Second.
Into roll call vote?
Trustee Cheney?
Yes.
Trustee McKnight?
Yes.
Trustee Calora?
Yes.
Mayor Newhart?
Yes.
Want me to take that, Mary?
Yeah.
Resolution accepting offer of dedication for pump track in Veterans Memorial Park. Whereas the Warwick Lions Club has proposed to dedicate to the Village of Warwick the labor and materials necessary for construction of the bicycle pump track at a designated location in Veterans Memorial Park. And whereas the Village of Warwick Village Board wishes to accept the said offer of dedication and to allow the Warwick Lions Club to construct the said pump track and dedicate it to the village. Now therefore be it resolved as follows. 1, that the village board accepts the Warwick Lions Club offer of dedication to the Village of Warwick, the labor and materials necessary for construction of a pump track at a designated location in Veterans Memorial Park. And 2, that the village board hereby grants a revocable license to the Warwick Lions Club to perform the said work in Veterans Memorial Park, subject to a provision of general liability insurance in an amount not less than $2 million, naming the village as an additional insured. 3, that the mayor is hereby authorized to sign all documents necessary for the allowing of the Warwick Lions Club to carry out work on construction of the pump track, including, without limitation, building permit applications, licenses, and tax documents. And 4, that this resolution accepting the said offer of dedication shall not constitute acceptance of the work, materials, or equipment being offered for the dedication by the Warwick Lions Club, but rather the village's acceptance of dedication of the work, materials, and equipment shall be contingent upon a determination by the village that said work has been performed properly, the materials and equipment have been installed in accordance with the plans.
Discussion?
Sure. Oh, well, let's
We
second
gotta
it first.
second. We need a second.
Second.
What's the expectation of DPW's involvement in this? Because it sounds, in reading it, like they're doing everything.
I think there is going to be some ground prep work, with machinery, to get the area, flattened or, but,
It's not flat, it's,
Are they,
well, no, I mean, the final thing will be
Yeah.
moving, but to get to the level plane where they can build those humps and things. So I believe that will be our contribution.
are they able to use some of the dirt from the ski park
You bet.
excavation?
Yes. Yep.
Good, that's
Yep.
perfect. That works out.
Any questions? No? Okay. So we have a second, and it's a roll call vote.
Trustee Cheney?
yes.
Trustee McKnight?
Yes.
Trustee Calora?
Yes.
Mayor Newhart?
Yes. Okay.
The fair housing resolution is next. This is a boilerplate resolution. It's adopted periodically.
Yes.
There's really, I mean, unless you really want to, no reason to read the entire fair housing resolution. It's the same for every municipality.
Okay.
So you might want to have a motion to waive the reading, and I mean, unless you want to read it.
I'll make a motion to waive the reading for the governing body fair housing resolution.
Second.
Okay. And thus, I need a motion.
No, we need to vote on that
Okay.
motion.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye. And I'll make a motion to adopt the governing body fair housing resolution. Or resolve to, how do I say this?
You could have done just the way you did it. You don't need to read the resolve unless you want to.
No, because that's not it. Yeah, so I'll make a motion to accept the resolution of the governing body fair housing.
Second.
Okay.
Just a question, because it does set some conditions. At the end of it, number 2, it calls for us will at a minimum include, but not be limited to, distribution of posters, flyers, and other means which will bring to attention of those affected the knowledge of their respective responsibilities and rights concerning fair housing. Have we thought about how we're going to do that? Because, I mean, it means get out to the realtors, get out to property owners.
Yeah, it can mean that, but it can also mean having them here at the clerk's office and just shooting out an email saying, we have these available, would you like to put them up? You don't have to go door to door and
Yeah.
hand them out.
No,
feel like
I understand.
last
Yeah,
year,
what's the plan?
I think we put something in the newsletter.
Okay, right, we did.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that satisfies it.
Thank you.
Okay.
I would also have something on your website though, just to be.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you.
So it's roll call.
Trustee Cheney?
Yes?
Trustee McKnight?
Yes.
Trustee Calora?
Yes.
Mayor Newhart?
Yes.
I could take the rest down.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Motion to schedule a public hearing for Monday, May 18th, 2025 to discuss projects considered for funding under the fiscal year 2026 Community Development Block Grant Program.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Motion to grant permission to Warwick Valley Gardeners to use Veterans Memorial Park Pavilion on Tuesday, May 20th, 2025 for a membership meeting between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. Request includes use of a portable speaker and use of restrooms. Completed park permit, security deposit, and insurance have been received.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Motion to grant permission to the Warwick Valley Community Center to hold the Warwick LGBTQ+ Walk of Acceptance event on Sunday, June 8th, 2025. The parade will step off at 1:30 p.m. with a lineup beginning at the Community Center. The parade route will be as follows: Hamilton Avenue to Orchard Street, left to Oakland Avenue, Main Street. Proceed at Main Street, right on South Street, left on High Street, right onto Forrester. Arriving at Veterans Memorial Park Pavilion at approximately 2:30 p.m. for the Warwick Pride Celebration event. Completed facility use permit, security deposit, and proof of insurance have been received. The Town of Warwick Police Department has been informed of the event and will assist with the parade route.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion to grant permission to the Warwick Community Center to use Veterans Memorial Park for a Warwick Pride Celebration event on Sunday, June 8th, 2025. Event set up to begin at 10 a.m. with the event taking place between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. Cleanup to be completed by 7 p.m. Request includes use of Memorial Park Pavilion, restrooms, electricity and sound system, tents, portable tables and chairs, temporary decorations, and use of the McFarland Drive parking lot. In addition, up to 10 food vendors and up to 10 retail vendors to be set up in Memorial Park along the roadway nearest the pavilion. DPW to provide 4 extra garbage and recyclable cans, 100 chairs, 8 tables, 12 parking cones, 1 12-foot ladder, and 4 pieces of staging to be assembled by Saturday, June 7th, 2025. Also requested flagpoles and clips to be installed by DPW on Main Street for pride flags to be installed by Friday, June 6, 2025. Completed facility use permit, security deposit, and proof of insurance have been received. Proof of insurance must be received from each vendor prior to the event.
Second. Just discussion, did it say each vendor? Do you know what that means?
Yeah, so each vendor has to provide their own insurance.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye. Motion to grant permission to Warwick Community Bandwagon, Inc. to hold May Mental Health Month awareness at Railroad Green on Saturday, May 10th, from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. with a rain date of Sunday, May 11th, 2025. Set up to begin at 10 a.m. with breakdown to be completed by 5 p.m. Request includes use of speakers and electricity, the setup of tents, the placement of portable toilets, and the use of village-owned tables and chairs. Request also includes no parking meter bags to be placed on the parking spaces along Railroad Avenue. Completed facility use permit, security deposit, and proof of insurance have been received.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Motion to close Railroad Avenue from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. for the benefit of the May Mental Health Month awareness event on Saturday, May 10th, 2025, with a rain date of Sunday, May 11th, 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Harry, do you want me to take the next page?
Yes, please.
You know, I wanted to have Barry chime in with the Little League
Sounds good.
motion, so.
Can't.
What? You
Can't.
can't? Oh, you can't?
I have to abstain.
Oh, you have to abstain. Okay. So be it.
I have a motion to grant permission to the Union AME Church to use Railroad Green to host a Juneteenth celebration on Thursday, June 19, 2025, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., with setup beginning at 8 a.m. and cleanup completed by 8 p.m. Request includes use of electricity and sound systems, the setup of tents, the placement of 1 portable toilet and 1 food truck to be parked in front of the main event area. Completed park permit, proof of insurance, and security deposit have been received.
Okay.
Second.
Just quick discussion.
Yep.
So does that food truck, if it's a vendor, also need to have its own insurance?
Food trucks don't. Food trucks already have like insurance within because they're usually like a business. So they usually already have.
Through their permit or something?
Yeah, it's just if you're a vendor that has like Steve, just correct me if I'm wrong. If you're a vendor that is going to be out on the ground somewhere with a tent and a table, things like flea markets and Apple Fest and festivals require you to have an insurance policy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sometimes you require them for trucks as well, but generally
Okay.
speaking, if you have a vendor truck like that, they're gonna have insurance. But when you have people selling, whether it's jewelry or pottery or flowers or whatever it may be, you require a separate almost every time.
Okay.
And they actually gave us the insurance for the food truck.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Hold a second.
Okay, we have a second. All in favor? Aye.
Motion to close Railroad Avenue from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. for the benefit of the Juneteenth celebration on Thursday, June 16, 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Hold on a second.
Nope.
Just, is that, the date seems wrong.
June 19th.
Oh, you did.
June
Good
19th.
Yeah, June 19th.
catch.
Okay, and we have a second on June 19th.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye. Motion to grant permission to Warwick Little League to move picture day from the previously approved date of Wednesday, April 26, 2025, to Saturday, May 17th, 2025. The event activities will remain the same with the use of the Veterans Memorial Park Pavilion and surrounding area from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain?
Yeah, thank you.
Motion to grant permission of Warwick Little League to use the field lights for the Daniel Pryal Field from March 1, 2025 through November 2025. Permission pending receival of light fee.
Okay.
Which was received today.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I need this in.
Okay.
You need
So should I modify that?
Second. Oh, which was received today? The late
The
fee?
light fee?
Yeah.
So
It's
let
okay.
me,
Yeah, you can leave it. We got it. We have it.
Okay.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain?
Yeah. So take the next one, Barry.
Motion to grant permission to the American Legion Warwick Township Post 214 to hold a Memorial Day parade and to use the area near the Veterans Memorial Park Fireman's Monument located in Memorial Park on Monday, May 26, 2025, between the hours of 10:30 a.m. and 2 p.m. The parade will step off at approximately 11 a.m. with lineup beginning at 10 a.m. on Main Street in front of Village Hall. The parade route will be as follows: Main Street in front of Village Hall, Oakland Avenue to the Warwick Cemetery, Galloway Road to the St. Stephen's Cemetery, Forrester Avenue to the Veterans Memorial Park Fireman's Monument. Completed park permit, proof of insurance, security deposit, and the Town of Warwick Police Department approval have been received.
second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Want me to keep going?
Yeah.
Motion to grant permission to close Park Avenue between Galloway Road and Birch Street on Thursday, May 15th, 2025, from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. with a rain date of Thursday, May 22nd, 2025, for the benefit of the Park Avenue Elementary School's Student and Parent Warrior Dash event.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to grant permission to close Park Avenue between Galloway Road and Birch Street on Friday, June 6th, 2025, from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. for the benefit of the Park Avenue Elementary School's Family Picnic Crazy Ticket School event.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Motion to grant permission to close Park Avenue between Galloway Road and Birch Street on Friday, June 13th, from 9 p.m. to 3, should be 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.?
Yes.
9 a.m. to 3 p.m. with a rain date of Monday, June 16th for the benefit of the Park Avenue Elementary School's Parkapalooza Sports Student / Teacher Sports Day.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And Mary?
Motion to approve the budget modification request for the well number 3 capital project as per the village treasurer's memo dated April 8th, 2025.
Second.
Okay. All in favor? Aye.
Motion to approve the budget modification request for certain fiscal year 2024-2025 budget account lines as per the village treasurer's memo dated April 15th, 2025.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion to approve an interfund transfer from ARPA reserve funds to capital projects fund for the well number 3 project as per the village treasurer's memo dated April 11th, 2025.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Motion to approve the interfund transfer from ARPA reserve funds to capital projects fund for the Maple Avenue Pump Station relocation project as per the village treasurer's memo dated April 11th, 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution to fund a capital project, streetlight purchase. Whereas the village board of the Village of Warwick has undertaken and approved a project for the purchase of streetlights, and whereas the estimated cost of the said project is $200,457, and whereas the Village Board of Warwick proposes to fund the said project by transferring $200,457 from the Infrastructure Reserve Fund to General Fund, and whereas pursuant to General Municipal Law 6C8, the said expenditure of funds from the village's Infrastructure Reserve Fund is subject to permissive referendum. Now, therefore, it is hereby resolved as follows. 1, that the Village of Warwick approves the aforesaid transfer and expenditure of funds from the Infrastructure Reserve Fund for the streetlight purchase, and 2, that due to the said expenditures from the village's Infrastructure Reserve Fund, the approval of the said transfer for funding of the streetlight purchase is subject to permissive referendum, and therefore this resolution shall not take effect until at least 30 days after its adoption, or until approved by the affirmative vote of a majority of the qualified electors of the village. If within 30 days after its adoption, a petition for the referendum under Village Law Article 9 is filed with the village clerk. And 3, that the village clerk shall publish and post notice of the approval of this resolution within 10 days from the date hereof.
Okay,
Second.
okay.
Trustee Cheney?
Yes.
Trustee McKnight?
Yes.
Trustee Kolar?
Yes.
Mayor Newhart?
Yes.
Great job.
Are you okay?
I'm a little winded. I think.
Take a
Do I
sip.
have one more?
Yeah,
We have
another resolution.
I can take it if you like.
It's like a marathon. I feel like I'm
Why
running a
don't
marathon.
you take it?
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Resolution approving funding for a capital project, purchase of the Chase parking lot. Whereas the village board of the Village of Warwick wishes to enter into a contract to purchase the Chase parking lot, 21 South Street, Warwick, New York, tax map section 211, block 4, lot 9, from JP Morgan Chase Bank. And whereas the purchase price under the proposed contract for purchase of the said property is $430,000. And whereas the village board the Village Board of Warwick proposes to fund the said purchase by use of funds in the village's parking lot reserve fund. And whereas pursuant to General Municipal Law, Section 6C8, the proposed expenditure of funds from the village's parking lot reserve fund is subject to permissive referendum. Now therefore, it is hereby resolved as follows. 1, that the Village Board of the Village of Warwick approves the proposed expenditure of funds from the parking lot reserve fund for the purchase of the Chase parking lot. And 2, that due to the said expenditures from the village's parking lot reserve fund, the approval of the said purchase of the Chase parking lot is subject to permissive referendum, and therefore this resolution shall not take effect until at least 30 days after its adoption, or until approved by the affirmative vote of a majority of the qualified electors of the village. If within 30 days after its adoption, a petition for referendum under Village Law Article 9 is filed with the village clerk. And 3, that the village clerk shall publish and post notice of the approval of this resolution within 10 days from the date hereof.
Second. Discussion.
Okay.
It's great. I'm glad, you put a lot of work into it. It took a while to get their attention, but you were persistent, and I appreciate that. Relative to these last two motions, is every fund required to go through this process to spend any money out of it?
If it's a reserve,
Capital reserve.
capital
funds are,
reserve, yeah.
So, like the money in lieu of parklands, the parkland fund that we have.
I don't think it's capital reserve fund.
Okay, why is the parking fund a capital reserve fund?
I was told that it is. It's
Okay.
80 cents. So
That's
all I can tell you.
through the treasurer, that's the,
Yeah.
I don't know
I didn't
what
think
makes the
that was
difference between them.
The
Yeah.
intention, but we should look into that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to mention that there is in this resolution mention of the parking lot reserve, and for people to know, the parking lot reserve is actually every quarter. It's made up of every quarter that goes into the meters in our fair village, and over time, it has grown. And so when we approached Chase Bank and we found out that the property was for sale, we knew that we had that reserve that we could depend upon. And then the other piece is that we received $50,000 from Senator Skoufis to bring us over the line to make this a reality. So that was perfect timing. So we're grateful. It's a very important part of our parking infrastructure. Very important piece of property in our community, as the South Street parking lot, all our municipal lots. Parking is king, as many people will know. But I'm grateful that we're moving forward with this. So, onward.
And I want to say thank you for all the work you did put into this. I know it was years of discussions,
Yeah.
and of course the negotiations, and that wasn't that was not easy
No, it was not.
either.
No.
So I think we're very lucky the village gets to preserve this piece of property, because they did want to sell it.
And also, the ATM will not be closing down. We will have a lease agreement with Chase Bank for it to continue operation. So
You need to vote.
we need to vote.
Okay. Trustee Cheney?
Yes.
Trustee McKnight?
Yes.
Trustee Calora?
Yes.
Mayor Newhart?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah,
Well
good.
done.
Yeah, good.
Well done. Okay, I have a motion to accept the proposal from Sierra Lingo LLC in the amount of $1,450 for a 1-year B-Clutch camp registration package, including a mobile club package and club admin web interface, plus custom development of an ID card interface. Funds are appropriated in budget code A7310.4570.
Second.
I want to thank you, Tom, for finding this.
Mary originally found
was
it,
Mary?
yeah.
Okay, well, thank you, Mary. I mean, it was, and then you two worked together to bring it to fruition.
Yeah, and I just want to mention he is the person that does this for the Smith Clove Yak program.
Okay.
And my workings in Monroe, that's how I got his information.
Oh, so it was that Monroe program. Okay, good. Really good.
So right, so local business, but they've expanded around the country. But Monroe, Tuxedo, others use this for their rec programs. So Mary took a look at this. I took a look at this from the technology angle. Fortunately, we were able to find something that I'm confident meets the requirements. As anyone who's listening who might have had troubles in the past of signing their children up for rec camp, the software we were using prior was not able to handle the load. This is a modern web application. I have confidence in it, so we're looking forward to rolling this out for this season's camp registration. So
Yeah, and we had previously stated in a previous meeting that we were not able to offer the sibling discount because the previous platform just didn't support it. But we're happy to say with this new upgrade, we will be able to support the sibling discount.
the other part of it, so the other software that we are retiring also was responsible for our municipal ID
Right.
system. Fortunately, this vendor was able to develop that piece for us. So for residents who want this local ID can come in and like for like, we'll be able to fulfill that requirement. Also, this could be used for badges for the rec camp
Oh,
counselors.
that's great. Yeah.
So, and one more thing, I think what I thought was quite important was the communication aspect from this system for the rec director, Ron, to keep in touch with the different counselors, also to keep in touch with the parents in the community. Sometimes there are rain cancellations or delays, and this offers some real-time communication that we didn't have prior. So
That's great.
I think
Within-
it's a good upgrade.
Within like one platform, because before I think he was doing email, texting, messaging.
That's really good. And a lot of follow-through when it failed. So it was horrible. Anyway, we have up for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
So Arbor Day proclamation, is this a motion, resolution?
It's a proclamation.
It's a proclamation.
Do you want me to do it?
Would you like to?
I
That would
actually
be-
would like to do
That
it.
would be great.
Whereas Arbor Day, a tradition dating back to 1872 when J. Sterling Morton initiated the celebration in Nebraska by planting trees, has since become a globally recognized observance promoting tree planting and environmental conservation, and whereas Arbor Day serves as a poignant reminder of the importance of trees in our ecosystem, providing numerous environmental, social, and economic benefits for current and future generations. And whereas the Village of Warwick recognizes the invaluable role that trees play in mitigating climate change, improving air quality, enhancing property values, and promoting overall health and well-being. Whereas the Village of Warwick has been a dedicated member of Tree City USA for 40 years, demonstrating a steadfast commitment to the preservation and growth of our woodlands. Whereas the Village of Warwick has achieved the Growth Award for 25 consecutive years, the longest tenure in New York State, showcasing exemplary efforts in enhancing our community's green infrastructure and fostering environmental stewardship. And now, therefore, Mayor Newhart, along with the Village Board of Trustees, do hereby proclaim April 25th, 2025 as Arbor Day in the Village of Warwick, New York, and urge all residents to join in commemorating this occasion by planting trees, participating in tree-related activities, and continuing to support initiatives aimed at preserving and expanding our village forest.
Okay,
Second.
roll call.
Trustee Cheney?
Yes.
Trustee McKnight?
Yes.
Trustee Flora?
Yes.
Mayor Newhart?
Yes. Okay. And there is one addendum.
I'll take that.
Okay.
The motion to accept and approve the draft letter of credit from Wells Fargo in the amount of $283,500 with annual increases as provided therein. Proposed to be posted by Convergent Energy and Power LLP on behalf of Warwick Energy Storage 3 LLC as decommissioning security for the Church Street Battery Project, and to authorize the mayor to sign the consent for acceptance of an amended letter of credit with those provisions.
Okay.
Second.
Okay.
So discussion?
Yeah.
How did this particular one come about?
We recognized that it went through the planning board process.
Right.
And that was the planning board attorney that set the number, and it was woefully low. And so we had the opportunity to
Revise that.
revise that. So,
So are there any other hurdles in the way of them now beginning to go online?
I don't believe so, yeah.
Well, do they have the permission to do so? I don't believe.
I believe they have all they keep sending us emails saying everything is in place except for this. Mayor is required to sign off on it's a very short form, saying that you accept this as an amended letter of credit. And then they have to actually file the letter of credit, it's file with RANA. And once they do that, they can, do the work.
So how does the moratorium that we passed impact this?
I think they're exempt from the moratorium because they had their approvals.
That's correct.
My understanding they had conditional approvals on, this was being one condition, I think.
I think even that's exempt. I'd have to go back and look at the moratorium, but that's my understanding, this project's exempt.
So what exactly do they need to, do you know, to begin bringing these online?
Oh, I don't know that. All I know is what was required to get them to the point where they could do the work. The work itself, I couldn't tell you.
I'd love to see more clarity on that.
Okay.
But this is, I know is just for the bond,
Yeah,
right? So,
I think that's a separate thing.
separate thing.
Well, no, I think it's one of the conditions that
This is the
is required, that stood in the way of Boris giving them a CO. That
That's
allows them to operate.
That's correct.
Well, what were the other conditions? My understanding is that there were a few.
They say that
Conditions
they're
from the original approval or conditions after the incident with the fire?
Well, we're still working on I think we're still working on the same, right? The original conditions.
Right. But those had all been satisfied and they were beginning to operate. The only thing that's changed was,
My understanding is they were testing it. They weren't officially bringing it online before it caught fire.
I think the thing to do is get a memo from Boris, and that way you'll know. And we just contact them and say you want a status on the Convergent project, and, now that this has been passed, what's outstanding, if anything, and, when can they?
And I thought Keith Woodruff was engaged with,
Keith was as well, but Boris should know. Keith reviewed it, Boris is the one who actually issues the CO. Now, Boris will consult with Keith before he does that, so you could, I suppose, ask either or both of them. But one way or another, you should be informed as to the status is, and then a memo's the way to do that.
okay.
So I would prefer to hold off on this, because I think if this is perceived as the last hurdle, let's
Yeah.
just understand I mean, this is going back to when I was on the planning board, 2019 or something. We really need to circle this again with our engineer, with our building inspector, and understand what were the original set of conditions, how did the incident impact that, and how are those conditions revised, and what the current status is. I think we need a full readout on this before, if this is perceived as the last step.
A full readout from our engineer?
From our engineer and our building inspector to make sure that we've tackled everything. Because what I think would not be a good situation would be if this was perceived as the last step and then they were to continue that work, but there wasn't something that we brought up. I'd feel much more comfortable if we actually had that memo.
Sure.
I agree.
But that's separate from this motion. This motion, they've satisfied the requirement that had been presented to them relative to the bond. So I don't know how we can not vote to approve that because they met the condition.
In a vacuum, I'm with you, but if this is also kind of one last step in a very long, convoluted
We can,
process before issuing a CO, I mean,
we can ask for a report from Boris before he issues a CO.
So still there's that step. He has not issued the CFO.
well, yeah. So given the amount of attention this has had and the risk from the incident, I don't feel comfortable with our building inspector making a determination on this particular issue to issue the CO without us fully understanding and having a memo from the engineer, reviewing everything one more time to make sure that everything is in order. And then I think it should be a village motion to approve the CO. That's my perspective. I know that's not typical to approve a CO.
I don't know if
but-
that's,
Yeah.
Could I suggest maybe we go into executive session to discuss this for the possibility of litigation?
sure.
Oh, it's the confidential advice of counsel.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to go into
Are we
executive.
done with everything else? Do you want to finish off? and
Oh.
then circle
Yeah, we have to
back?
go into executive session anyway.
Well,
Why don't
I mean,
Why don't we
Table
table
it?
this motion, or table this?
Unless your idea is that you still want to vote on it,
That-
then you want to break. to-
that may, our discussion may lead us to approving this motion. So
Okay,
we could come back and we could do the motion when we came back.
okay. Okay. So
We don't usually.
can we just leave this open then?
Well, I think
Have
what
you-
Barry
We're going into executive
Go
session
exec
now.
now, and then you'll go.
Can we step back
Yeah,
in the room, leave
Yeah.
and then come back and finish. the
camera
meeting.
running?
Very good, okay. So,
I'll make a
motion.
motion to go into executive session to seek the legal advice of counsel.
Second.
Do you want to do it for the other issue that I'd suggest going into as well, or we're gonna go into 2 executive sessions tonight?
We're not gonna take action on the one you
No.
suggested, right?
No.
So I would say 2 executive
Yeah,
sessions.
I
Very
think so
good.
too.
Okay.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so we'll be back in 2
We'll be
minutes.
back.
I'm probably just gonna head out, but it was
Thank you.
nice stopping in.
Okay.
You know,
Thanks
you
for
guys-
stopping by.
Yeah,
Thanks
all
for
right.
Thank you for coming,
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.